Yes, my friends, prepare your hearts. The Pittsburgh Steelers may be about to make a big move that could redefine their offense heading into the 2025 NFL season. With general manager Omar Khan reportedly aggressively exploring the wide receiver market, rumors have intensified surrounding not just one, but several high-profile names, including Odell Beckham Jr., Amari Cooper, and most notably, Tyreek Hill. Yes, you heard right. The cheetah himself could be in the running if the cards fall through in the coming weeks. I'll tell you all the details on this topic in a moment, but before I continue, make sure you've already hit the like button if you believe the Steelers will beat the Bucs in next Saturday's game. Man, I'm very confident in this victory. If possible, comment like this: Go Steelers! I believe in the victory. Now let's talk about these rumors that are gaining momentum behind the scenes. According to sources in Pittsburgh, the Steelers are keen to strengthen their wide receiver core ahead of the season. Currently, Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin III are expected to fill the WR2 and WR3 responsibilities, but inside sources suggest confidence in that depth may be waning. Mark Kabley, a reliable voice for Steelers news on the Pat McAfee Show, suggested a move to wide receiver is likely within the next 2 weeks. His cryptic message, "Stay tuned soon," sent social media into a frenzy, and when pressed for clarification, Kabley didn't directly deny big names like Amari Cooper or even Tyreek Hill. Now let's talk about Odell Beckham Jr., a name that has surfaced repeatedly due to his extensive ties to players currently on the Steelers roster. Odell and Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers' new starting quarterback, are longtime friends. Rodgers has attempted to recruit OBJ multiple times in the past, dating back to his days with the Packers and more recently with the Jets. On top of that, OBJ shares a connection with several Steelers players including Jalen Ramsey, Patrick Queen, Yana Smith, Robert Woods, and Ben Skowronek, all former teammates of his from stints with the Rams, Ravens, and Dolphins. Odell himself added fuel to the fire during a recent podcast appearance. He openly admitted to having conversations with Rodgers and Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin this offseason, even expressing admiration for the organization. He revealed that he thought Pittsburgh would draft him back in 2014. This kind of mutual interest, coupled with his free agent status, suggests that a deal could be possible, particularly if the Steelers can't land one of their bigger targets. But let's be clear, Odell Beckham Jr. isn't the same electric receiver he once was. His 2024 season with the Dolphins was a complete bust. Fewer than 10 receptions and under 100 yards total. He was released before the season even ended. That said, in 2023 with Baltimore, he did flash some of that old route-running precision and reliable hands, putting up over 560 receiving yards in a limited role. And in 2021, he had a standout playoff run and scored in the Super Bowl with the Rams before tearing his ACL. Now, Odell's age is a factor. He turns 33 this year, but his commitment to training and his rapport with stars like Jamar Chase and Zay Flowers during workouts this offseason suggests he's still grinding. As a veteran presence with solid blocking skills and the ability to make contested catches, he could provide stability if the Steelers opt for a low-risk veteran signing. A vet minimum contract isn't out of the question here. On the flip side, another name swirling with even more intrigue is Tyreek Hill. And while that may seem like a fantasy at first glance, there's more smoke here than you might think. The Steelers and Dolphins already have an active relationship, having completed a trade earlier this offseason involving Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. Tyreek, meanwhile, has had a very public and somewhat sour falling out with the Dolphins. Tensions reportedly escalated between him and head coach Mike McDaniel, and Tua Tagovailoa has gone on record saying that he hasn't fully forgiven Tyreek for comments made at the end of last season where Hill essentially said he was done in Miami.
Then there's the contract issue. Hill is owed a hefty $16 million roster bonus by the end of this month, money Miami may be unwilling to pay as they stare down the barrel of a looming rebuild. This bonus complicates Hill's future with the team and could make a trade more attractive, especially to a franchise like the Steelers, who currently have about $36 million in cap space available. A trade proposal floating around, one that has been described as realistic, involves sending Calvin Austin III and a third-round pick to the Dolphins in exchange for Tyreek Hill. It's a deal that would give Miami a promising, speedy receiver who fits their scheme and long-term outlook, while the Steelers get a proven superstar who can instantly elevate their offense. The cap hit for 2025 would be manageable at $15 million, with zero guaranteed money beyond this season, giving the Steelers a lot of flexibility to restructure or even move on next year if necessary. Hill's production is undeniable. He's one of the most explosive playmakers in the game, and inserting him into a receiver room already led by DK Metcalf could make Pittsburgh's offense one of the most dynamic in the AFC. The Steelers are set to receive multiple compensatory third-round picks in next year's draft, which further cushions the cost of such a trade. If Miami is truly motivated to move Hill and avoid that roster bonus prorating into future years, the timing might never be better for the Steelers to make their move. And don't overlook the strategic benefit this would provide new offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. Hill's ability to stretch the field vertically would open up the intermediate game for tight ends and running backs, while his sheer presence would draw double coverage away from other targets. This trade would not only supercharge the Steelers' passing attack but also unlock deeper layers of Smith's playbook. Now, some have speculated about other potential targets, including Amari Cooper, who remains a free agent. Cooper has always had a fan in Aaron Rodgers, and his sharp route running and size make him a tempting fit. But the chatter around him is more ambiguous. Cabley's comments suggest Cooper is a name that shouldn't be ruled out, even though he stopped short of confirming any direct links. Other possibilities like Gabe Davis, Adam Thielen, Kendrick Bourne, and even Quentin Johnston have been floated, but none carry the star power or immediate impact potential of Tyreek Hill. Johnston, in particular, might be a low-risk trade candidate, especially with the Chargers having added Keenan Allen and two younger receivers, Trey Harris and Keandre Lambert-Smith, who've impressed during camp. But at the end of the day, the two most realistic scenarios, based on insider reports and credible connections, remain Odell Beckham Jr. and Tyreek Hill. One would come cheap and bring experience, leadership, and familiarity with teammates. The other would cost a bit more but offer game-breaking speed and the ability to completely transform the offense. So now I've got to ask you, Steelers Nation, if you had to choose one, what would it be? Would you take a chance on OBJ on a vet minimum deal or go all in for the cheetah, Tyreek Hill, with a trade? Let me know in the comments. But let's not kid ourselves. If you're picking between adding a reliable vet like OBJ or shaking the league with a Tyreek Hill trade, the fan base is going to want Hill. The media will circle around it. The league will take notice. Suddenly, Pittsburgh's offense doesn't look like a question mark. It looks dangerous. It looks fast. It looks ready to compete with Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore in a shootout, not just grind out 17-14 wins. And there's one more layer to this story, Aaron Rodgers. Bringing in someone like Tyreek Hill would be a statement of trust in Rodgers' ability to command this locker room and elevate this offense immediately. Rodgers has a narrow window to chase another ring, and Khan knows it. Time is not a luxury they can afford to waste. Adding Hill could be that final push to make the most of Rodgers' tenure in Pittsburgh, while also giving Tomlin the kind of offensive weapon he hasn't had since peak Antonio Brown. So what happens next? If the Steelers want to strike, now is the time. Miami needs to resolve Hill's future before that roster bonus locks in. The Steelers have the capital, the cap space, and the quarterback to make a compelling case. And if the price truly is just a third-round pick and a rotational receiver like Calvin Austin III, this becomes less a gamble and more a strategic coup. Steelers fans, buckle up. Something big could be brewing in Pittsburgh. Whether it's Beckham on a bargain or Hill on a blockbuster, the front office is clearly not content to just hope this offense figures itself out. They want answers. They want impact. And they want it now. If you want more breaking Steelers news and exclusive updates like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and click on the next video that just popped up on your screen. The biggest news in Steelers Nation? You'll always find it right here.